Thank you very much for the opportunity to present today. Today I'll be presenting on migration and precarity. And by migration and precarity, I mean not having a predictable future for one's life in Canada due to one's immigration status. It results in a state of vulnerability and insecurity for migrants related to citizenship, belonging, employment, and social entitlement. One group of highly precarious migrants in Canada is temporary foreign workers. We currently have around 300,000 temporary migrants in Canada, including those who migrate through the International Mobility Program. My research is largely focused on low-skilled temporary foreign workers, including those who work in the restaurant industry, construction, cleaning, maintenance, farm, caregiving, and in the oil fields. My research is focused on the factors that contribute to their transition to other status in Canada, including transition to undocumented migrant status, international student status, and permanent resident status. The initial ideas for this research arose from a pilot study funded by the Cool Institute for Advanced Studies. In the pilot study, we examined the impact of policy changes to temporary foreign workers in Canada. The study was a response to policy changes in 2015, which restricted the length of time temporary foreign workers can remain in Canada and also limited their access to permanent resident status. We conducted focus groups with 35 temporary foreign workers in Alberta. In the pilot study, we found that the experience of exploitation plays a crucial role in becoming undocumented in Canada. For example, we heard from some temporary foreign workers who arrived in Alberta after paying $10,000 to $25,000 US dollars in recruitment fees, only to find that the employer had also hired 4 other workers for the same job. Upon arrival in Canada and with closed work permits, which means they can only work for that single employer, this leaves the temporary foreign worker with 2 options: to go back to their country of origin after being $10,000 to $25,000 in debt, or to become undocumented in Canada. Participants identified the need for research to examine strategies that will help in addressing their precarious immigration status in Canada. Upon completion of our study, we applied for a SSHRC Insight grant to examine the factors that shape the transition of temporary foreign workers to other status and engage temporary foreign workers in exercising their rights in Canada and challenge systemic processes that they face. We are conducting interviews and focus group with 40 to 60 temporary foreign workers in Alberta. We started our study in September, and we've already done 25 interviews. We are also interviewing around 20 stakeholders, including informal support networks. We are analyzing pertinent documents, and we're engaging temporary foreign workers in conversation cafes to challenge the systemic processes that they face in Canada. Our research approach using interesting data, but are still very preliminary. For instance, we are realizing the multiple continuum of precarious immigration status in Canada, many of which we did not fit into our previous group, including being a visitor and continually renewing your permit as a visitor in Canada. Formal and informal brokers, including employers and recruiters, play a crucial role in contributing to precarity. The regulation in Canada is thus important in addressing issues of precarity. We continue to explore emerging findings to find useful strategies to address issues of migrant precarity in Canada while using a rights-based approach. Our research will produce useful knowledge to immigration policymakers on pathways after completion of the Temporary Foreign Workers Program and strategies to overcome the growing number of undocumented migrants in Canada. It will also inform service delivery for temporary foreign workers in the province of Alberta and mobilize the Agency of Temporary Foreign Workers to meet the challenges that they face in Canada. Thank you.